Hey there, Teacher Chanel here. Today I'm going to share with you one of the most powerful techniques that you can use in the manifestation process. It is said that when we write things down, we are actually more likely to manifest them. So years ago, I actually started journaling as a way to be therapeutic. I would write down my dreams. If I didn't know like what the heck, if I had a dream and I really couldn't figure out what it meant, I would write it down because I don't dream that often. I don't know why. I think it's because I don't get into the right realm of sleep, but I don't dream that often. But when I do, there's usually a message in there somewhere. So I would typically write down the dream. I would also write down things that I wanted to manifest. And I'm going to share a really cool story with you all in a second. But it turns out this is one of my old journals right here. And I started writing in this one February 3rd of 2016. See that? This is one of my journals. And here's the thing about journals. I have 1,001 journals because anytime I go to like Home Goods or Ross or something like that and I see a really cute journal, I'll pick one up and start writing in that one. And then it turns out that I have like dozens of journals all over the place. So when I'm writing things down that I actually want to manifest, I don't know which journal, which story is in, and some of my journals I can't even find because my kids will get a hold to them, start scribbling in them or whatever. So what I actually want to share with you all before I get into my really cool manifestation story is this journal that I created, and it is called the I Am Manifestation Journal. Start being intentional about your manifestations. And this is what it looks like. This is the proof. This is why you see all these post-it notes in here, because I did some editing. This is the back. It's super cute. It's actually a collage. If you look real close, you'll see a Chanel bag, a YSL lippy. Like, this is the cutest thing ever. It is for a full year. And in addition to it just being like this, where it's just, a bunch of lined blank pages, I actually wanted this to be a tool that you could use and would want to use on a daily basis. And this is why it's so cute, right? We have another cover, we're going to call her character on the front. This, I named her Brianna. And the other one is named Chloe. And Chloe is actually limited edition, but I wanted these journals to have a coffee table book feel. A coffee table book, they're huge and they're usually really beautiful to look at. That's how I wanted this to be sitting at your bedside table. So it would be something that you were attracted to and actually wanted to write in every single day. That is the purpose. So real quick, I'm gonna give you all a sneak peek. Let's see. So, okay. One of the first pages you get to is the I am statement. And this is just a really long, detailed affirmation that's really, really powerful. And then we go into our monthly, let me take that out. Our monthly manifestation tips. There are 12 of these because this is a full year journal. Okay. These tips could be an action that you need to take or a mindset shift that you should make, right? So that's your manifestation tips. And then on the next page, we have the monthly vision board page. Now I have some things cut out, but I haven't pasted them in here just yet. So basically on this page, you want to paste in some things that you would like to manifest that month. And then we go into our actual journal entry pages. As you can see, yes, I actually use my own creation, right? And it says at the top, currently manifesting. Also, one thing that I skipped My Post-it notes are making my pages stick together. Okay, there we go. At the beginning, the very beginning of the journal, you'll see here instructions on how to use the journal, what to put in it, what not to write in it, very detailed instructions on how to use that. So this, as of today, is officially available on Amazon. You're going to see a link in the description and up here at the top corner, so you can get your copy of your I Am Manifestation Journal. I'm super, super proud of this thing. Yeah, so go ahead and get your copy. All right, so the story that I want to tell you, and I've been holding on to this story for almost a year because it's so long and it's so detailed that it's like, how do you even find the words? Okay, so last year, I actually recorded a video, and it's called how I manifested a townhome with no job, something like that, right? So my lease was up. Actually, when I filmed that video, I was getting ready to move because my lease was coming up, I think, in the next like 2 months after I actually filmed that. So I wanted to move a little bit closer to the city. I was living in a little town called Little Elm. That's how little it is. It has little in the title. It's called Little Elm. And while I love that little town, I wanted to be closer to Frisco, which is a part of Dallas and a suburb of Dallas. And so I wanted to be a little bit more centrally located by the mall, by all the shopping and things. And Little Elm, while they're building up out there, it was a great location, but I wanted to be in Frisco, right? Just closer to everything. So at this point, I wanted to move into one of the newer condos, right? One of the newer ones. And I've been working on my credit, or I paid somebody at this point, but at that time I was working on my credit myself. And while I was having some small victories, nothing substantial, right? So at this point, I actually pay somebody, pay a professional. But if you've ever tried to repair your credit or gone through that process, it is hell. Okay, the credit game is just rigged and it is hell. So at that time, my credit was really, really bad. Okay, this still stemming from, if you watch my other video, manifestation video, it's stemming from me losing my job in 2016. Or was it 15? No, it was 2016. Right, I had all these credit cards I was building, my credit was great, and then I lose my job. And then it's either, you know, pay the rent, keep the lights on, keep food in the fridge, or pay your credit card bills, right? And I had legit just paid one off. And I ended up losing my job. So my credit suffered tremendously. So I really didn't, like I said, I didn't want to stay, even though it was really nice where we lived before, I still wanted to move, right? So I wrote down, it wasn't this journal, it's one of the ones that's missing somewhere. That's a great thing about this too. They're mentioned that everything can stay right in one journal, so you don't have journals all over the place. But I wrote in one of them exactly what I wanted, okay? Because I came to tour this place and a new condo right across the street. And I really didn't know which one I should apply it, because you know when you're applying for properties, that costs money usually, unless they're having some type of special and they're waiving fees, it usually costs money. So over there across the street, I think it would have been like $350 to apply there, and here it was free. However, I like that one over there better, right? It's just aesthetically is gorgeous. Now where I live is nice too, but over there it's just better, right? Whoever designed the lobby area, the common areas, as well as the interior of the units did an amazing job. Here, I don't know who did it. It turns out, and I've been saying this from the beginning, we've been here almost a year now. I've said since the beginning that a man designed the interior, this whole property. A man did it, had to. And it turns out, yep, I was right. So anyway, I really wanted to be over there. So I wrote in, well, first of all, I prayed and I asked God. I said, God, let me know today. That's how I talk to God. I say, listen, I don't want to wait, you know, a week, 3 weeks, a year to get an answer. I need an answer now. My lease is almost up. I need an answer today. Okay. And then I wrote down in my journal exactly how I wanted it to go, how I wanted everything to play out. Because remember, my credit is terrible. And to live in these luxury places, they usually have these grandiose, you know, requirements. Your credit score has to be a certain amount and blah, 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 right? So I needed it to go effortlessly because I wanted to live in one of these places. So I said a prayer. I said that prayer, and I only pray in my head, y'all. I was taught to do this when I was a kid, and I've been doing it ever since. I only pray in my head, so that there's no, like, if a sign appears, like, there's no doubt in my mind that it was from God, because I'm just speaking in my head, right? So sign number one, I said, God, if it's meant for me to move, period, if it's all going to work out in my favor, I want to hear a bell. That's the most random mess, right, that you could ask for. It's a bell. So, I'm not even making this up. This was bananas. So I was watching a young lady's video, Missy Lynn, actually, and it was I'm not even subscribed to her channel, but for some kind of way I ended up on her videos that particular day, and I was watching one of her vlogs, and it was like an hour and some change. And she was at a wedding or in a wedding or something, and I kid you not, at 1 hour and 11 minutes, a bell went off. And it turns out, I think it was the little, what do they call them in the weddings? The little boys, the ring bearer. He was walking down the aisle ringing a bell. I was like, wait a minute. And for it to be at 1 hour, 1:11, yeah, I damn near fell out of my bed. I was like, oh, heck no. I don't know if I mentioned this before. I'm pretty sure I have on some other videos. I see numbers all the time, repeating numbers. I see them on license plates. I see them, in the time throughout the day, 3:33, 1:11, 4:44, like legit all day long. And when I first started seeing these repeating numbers, I was, it was weird at first. 'Cause I'm like, well, dang. Now I'm just so used to it, doesn't even matter. But at an hour and 11 minutes, a bell rung. And I was like, oh, hell no. That was a coincidence. I'm tripping. And I actually sent the video to a friend of mine. I was like, go to 1 hour and 11 minutes and tell me what you hear. Because I think I'm bugging, right? So I was like, no. That couldn't have been, that wasn't right. So then I saw, I think 5:55 for the first time, 5:55. I don't remember if it was where it was online, or if it was the time, I don't remember. But anytime I would see repeating numbers, I would always look it up and try to figure out what the number meant, right? So I type it in. What is the meaning of seeing 555, right? I can't remember what the heck the meaning is, but so I go to this website. Now, hold on, pause. Let me go back. I'm going too far. After I heard the bell, I said, God, I'm tripping. So I need for you to send another sign. Because the first sign, that was very bizarre, very random to ask to hear a bell. The first sign wasn't good enough, right? So I need you to send another sign. And I said, I need to actually see the name of one of these properties. Now, obviously, I'm not going to say the name because I still live here. But let me tell you, it's a very rarely used word. It's the name of where I live. It's rarely used. I never really hear, I mean, the last time I heard this word, I was in church a long time ago. And so it's very, like if I heard the name of either of these properties, then I would know, right? So I go to this website, trying to figure out what 555 means. And guess what? There was an ad in the corner, on the side for this apartment community. I was like, oh, hell no. What is the, it's funny how we ask for signs and then we get them, we're like, whoa, that can't be right, right? So needless to say, I was like, okay, you know, this isn't necessarily the one that I wanted. I was hoping for the other, but I'll be grateful for either. They're both brand new, never lived in units. It's cool. So I applied over there prior to asking for all these signs, but home dude, the agent over there was like dragging his feet. It took him like a week and a half. And he never returned my phone call. It was just too much of a hassle, right? So now I was like, so I'm gonna come here and apply here. And it didn't cost me anything to apply. And the special at the time was 6 weeks free. So I pretty much moved in with paying $150 deposit, move right in, right? It was an easy move. Plus I got free, what do you call that? Movers. So I didn't have to pay for the move. I got a free 2-hour move as well. So that was dope. So that is pretty much how I manifest anything in my world. I just pray about it. I align with it. I write it down. Okay? And just read it. Read it every single day. This is your book. This is what I call the I Am Manifest. This is your book of life. You are able to write your own story, create your own beautiful life, all in one book. And that is so, I'm just shocked every time I manifest something that I actually want. Because here's one thing that I always like to reiterate is that the manifestation process takes place whether you're conscious about it or not, whether you want it to or not. It's just like the law of attraction. Got a lot of folk that feel like, oh, it's too new age and blah, blah, blah. Well, it's just like the law of gravity. Either you believe in it or you don't, but it still exists. Yes? So manifestation is the same way. So this is all about becoming intentional about your manifestations versus just leaving it all up to chance. Okay. So go and pick up your I Am Manifestation journal. Link is down below and you'll see the tab up here, right on Amazon. The other version of the journal will be available on my website, tedrachanel.com. Very, very soon. I will let you guys know when she's live on my website. She's limited edition. You can only get her from my website once she is available. So I really hope that this manifestation story blessed you. I hope that you learned something from it. Let me know down below if you did, if I said something that actually resonated with you. Make sure you pick up your I Am Manifestation journal. Subscribe. Go ahead and hit the like button on this video if it blessed your soul. I am Tedra Chanel again, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.